would have never believed that it would have been won the way I wanted. You know, what I was doing, the conditions have to line up perfect for you to be able to catch big bags doing that. It's, you know, I always use that on this lake this time of year to get a good start, to get the day going. But what I like to do, you know, I'm a dock fisherman. I like OT, brush piles, docks, anything, you know, just try to catch a big fish. But that wasn't working. I almost, you know, gave the tournament away by chasing that. Last night in my sleep, you know, I was laying there right before I went to bed, and you know, I told myself, you know, you've got to leave that jig because I spent way too much time the first 2 days trying to make it happen, and it just wasn't happening. And today with the overcast, I mean, you couldn't have picked a better day to do what I was doing all day long. And as far as being able to win it pretty much out of 2 places, I would have never dreamed that there were that many fish there. I actually found those fish in practice on a jigging spoon. In the middle of the day, they were out there in that timber. It was right after that big cold snap. They were out like 44, 45 feet. I was catching vertical jigging. Pulled up there the first morning of the tournament. I love to throw that blade runner. I mean, it's what I do. And I always start with that. It doesn't matter where I'm at. And I eased up over the top of those fish, and I saw they were suspended, and they moved up on the flat out of the trees, and I went to work on them. But I didn't think that there was that many there. You know, I caught a limit there the first day. Pretty much everything I weighed came from there, and I left them. You know, left them bite, just thinking that I could do better doing something else. I should have just. I would have burned like 3 gallons of gas. I'd have stayed there all week and been better off.
You said that you were catching them on a jigging spoon. Were they in the timber, and then when the tournament started, they moved up on the flat? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I don't know what it was. Those first few days of that cold weather and the high pressure. You know, we had a lot of sun in pre-practice last weekend. It pushed those fish out in that timber. They were actually deeper then than they were, you know, the coldest day that we've ever had in South Carolina. I believe the first day of the tournament. But you know, that little bit of cloud cover and the wind that morning, you know, they drifted back up on the flat, feeding on the bait.
All right, next question.
Casey, can you describe the lure your dad made?
Yeah, good question. It's asking for a description of the lure that your father made to help you win the tournament.
It's nothing special. You know, it's a bait that we made for years, and you know, I was going through my boat, getting everything ready about a month ago, and I was getting super busy. You know, interviews every day, trying to get I fished the Bassmaster Open, and I was just running short on time. And I called him up. I said, "Man, I got to have some blade runners." He said, "Well, I'll pour you some up." He said, "We got some hooks and stuff ready, you know." And he gave me like a Ziploc bag of 24 of them. He said, "This is probably what you can win the Bassmaster Classic on." I said, "I doubt it."
Could you describe that bait in detail?
It is the silliest, simple-looking thing you ever seen in your life. It's a pony head, just a do-it mold pony head. It's got we use a shampoo swivel, and use powder paint. It's pearl white. The head is. It's got a 4/0 mustad hook in it, and what I'm putting on the bait. I mean, that's just the head. The bait that catches the fish is the Zoom Super Fluke Junior. That being small, compact. The way I fish that thing is a lot different than a lot of guys fish it. A lot of guys use it for suspended fish. You know, they throw it out as soon as it hits the water, they start their retreat. I do that too, you know, when I know the fish are up high. But I like to fish it on the bottom. Where a lot of guys will throw a jig or they like to get over the top of them and vertical fish on. I like to make long casts of that deal and work it painfully slow. When y'all see the footage, you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, the first day when it was so icy, I would have to dip my rod in the water twice for each cast to keep the ice. I mean, it would just lock my reel. That's how slow I was having to fish it. But the reason I do that, the water's so clear, you know, when you get over the top of those fish, even though they're in 40 feet of water, you're not going to catch very many of them. They realize pretty quick what's happening and they scatter. So when you can stay off of them and make long casts, you're apt to catch more once you get them going. It's just it's a nickel blade, you know, 3.5 size. It's a willow leaf. I mean, nothing special. It's just the swivel is the key to that bait. The swivel and the Super Fluke Junior. You know, it doesn't matter how slow I turn it. turn my reel. I mean, I can even lift it off the bottom, up there the blade, and you can just hold it, let them pencil them back to you.